Hey everyone, so I had a few of you send me this article, and it's titled, Look How Much Canadians Hate the United States Now. I don't know if hate's the right word, maybe disappointed, but maybe it is hate. But this article has 5 different surveys that I want to show you, and it really shows how much things have changed over the last year. I also have another report that's showing Air Transat adding more destinations for Canadians, and none of them are in the United States. And more good news, Air Canada is canceling yet again more flights to the United States. So we'll talk about all this in this video. And I also got a little bit of a rant at the end. And if you're new to my channel, I do have 2 Canadian petitions that I'm featuring in my video. On the left, it's by Heather McPherson. And this one, the TLDR, it's basically to get everything that's related to ICE out of Canada. This one is at 9,757 signatures, with lots of time until it closes. The one on the right is by Bruce Fanjoy, is to make sure that all federal MPs get the proper security clearance. This one's at 37,373 signatures. So if you're interested in reading these over, the links to them will be in the description below as well as the pinned comment. Now let's get to the good news if you're living in Fredericton as well as Charlottetown.
Air Transat has announced new direct flights to Mexico from a pair of maritime airports. Air Transat announced a series of new direct routes to Mexico and the Dominican Republic. Those include new weekly flights direct from Fredericton and Charlottetown to Cancun. The first flights left yesterday and will run until the 22nd of April. The airline also announced other routes as it pivots away from American cities.
Now, we already know that Air Transat is canceling all of its flights to the United States. They only had 2 left. I think it was Fort Lauderdale and Orlando. But those planes have to go somewhere. So I'm pretty sure these planes that are sitting around are going to have new destinations that we'll be able to go to. So if you are in Fredericton or Charlottetown, you now have a direct flight option to go to Cancun. Now, in other flight news, if you're in Montreal and you're deciding that you want to go to Seattle, you're going to have to find a different way. Because Air Canada just announced that its flights from Montreal to Seattle are going to be canceled, and they were supposed to resume in about 2 months. The article states the seasonal service was anticipated to begin on May 1st, yet the Air Canada website does not offer any booking options at this time. You know, this actually makes me wonder, what other destinations that we used to go to might be on the chopping block pretty soon? But the fact that Air Canada hasn't made an official announcement about it, and it's just not showing up on their website, it just makes me wonder what other routes there are that might be canceled. Okay, let me stop it here for a minute. I've been called out by a few people, and this is on me. I don't know how it happened though. Somehow I've been calling routes for the last few years. I've been wondering what else I'm saying wrong. I know I still say roof, I don't say rough, but it has made me realize how intertwined I was with the United States culture that somehow I started changing the way I say things. I even had one person say that I'm not Canadian because I said it wrong. Well, I can assure you, I am born and raised in Vancouver, and I used to have my collection of umbrellas. But since starting this channel, I do realize I need to get back to my Canadian roots. And that includes not calling them Americans anymore, but calling them something else. Now back to this article. I don't think this is the end in terms of seeing more flights being canceled to the US. To be honest, I think this is just the beginning. And a specific destination might not be canceled altogether, but it might go from like 3 a day down to 1. Or an Airbus A330 down to an A321. Or even from an A321 down to, what's the next smallest plane? Oh, the de Havilland or the CRJ. So when those reductions do happen, I will be happy to announce them to the community. Now, moving on to this article that many of you have sent me. It's titled, Look How Much Canadians Hate the United States Right Now. Now, let me ask the community a question. Do you hate the United States? Hate's a pretty strong word. For me, I think it's more disappointment. Disappointment in the country, the business owners, the government, and also some of the citizens as well. I'm going to get into more of this at the end of the video, and part of it relates to a bit of my rant. But the article starts off by saying the new result from the Politico poll suggests a lasting chill has settled over the world's former bosom buddies. Americans are rosy as ever about their northern neighbors, but Canadians don't share that love. I don't know about that. But do these comments I'm showing right now, does it sound like they're rosy about Canada? I don't think so. I really don't like how this article is framing it in a way where the United States, they've done nothing wrong and they're still rosy over Canada, and it's us that's giving the cold shoulder. But I do agree with this highlighted note here. Their message to America, it's not us, it's you. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. I am getting kind of tired of the media or even the US government officials blaming Canada for what's going on right now. Like they completely overlook the fact that the Orange McNugget is causing all of this. But then they say we're the ones that are hurting their economy, or we're hurting our friends. I don't know. Anytime I hear this stuff, it just makes me want to boycott even more. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same way as me on this. Now, the first poll states, Canadians are wary of their ability to depend on the US. Overall shows 58% of Canadians disagree. Liberals 70, NDP 62, and Conservatives 41. Personally, I don't believe the United States is dependable anymore on any levels, so I'm not surprised by these results. Now this next screenshot, Canadians consider US a bigger threat than Russia. I'm not surprised by this as well. Germany, UK, and France still consider Russia the bigger threat. But Canada, we still consider the US the bigger threat. I mean, we got a dysfunctional next door neighbor. Now this next poll, Canadians across parties agree, Trump is the antagonist. Well, no shit. But the poll results say 69% overall agree with this. NDP 84, Liberal 77, and Conservative 57. Now this next one is shocking to me, but it also isn't. I guess it's shocking in a way because how many of you would ever thought that we would be closer to China than we would be to the United States? And for those of you who continue to say that China's bad, well, which is the worst of the two right now? China or the United States? I keep reminding myself of this quote, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And if the enemy of my friend can help us economically, in my opinion, and this is just me, it's a no-brainer. Now going back to the poll, Canadians warmed to a closer relationship with China. 57% say it's better to depend on China. 23% say it's better to depend on the US under Donald Trump. And 20% say, I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I have a lot of friends back home that are in that 20%. They have no opinion on anything. But you have to think about it this way. If this poll was done in 2023 or 2024, it would be drastically different. I mean, for one, you would have to take out the Orange McNugget's name and put in Biden. But the percentage-wise, I'm pretty sure depending on China would be a very, very small percentage. In the last poll, Canadians are optimistic about the US-Canada ties in a post-Trump era. Now the results. First one, weaker, though it will recover after he's gone, is 49%. Weaker, and it will not recover, is 29%. Stronger, 7. Orange McNugget has no impact, 7. And the I don't know is 8. Now this is just my opinion, but that 49%, if you ask me in 3 years from now, or just under 3 years, I think that's going to go a little bit lower. Why? Because there's still a lot of time for damage. And every time the Orange McNugget opens his mouth, you know that something's going to go wrong. Now I wanted to share a video that I found on TikTok from a Canadian. And he actually doesn't say a lot in this video, but what he says actually resonates with me. Let's take a look.
Hi, America. It's your Canadian friend to the north and the rest of the world. Hey, when are you gonna do something? Do you know what I mean? When are you gonna do something? I'm thinking Les Mis or anything other than what you're doing now because it's not working. It's not working. So when are you going to do something? Right? Like do something. It's time to do something. It's not going away. So it's time to do something. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and do something. Can you please, for the love of all things holy, do something? Please. God.
Now I told you, he doesn't really say very much. But me as a Canadian, and I'm sure a lot of people around the world are feeling the exact same way. Now here's the beginning of my little bit of a rant. I think I speak for at least one or maybe two people in my videos watching this right now. Okay, maybe a little bit more. When I say we do wish that the United States would do something about this. And when I say the United States, I say the United States as a whole. I'm not talking about the ones that are actively resisting, the ones that are protesting, the ones that are fighting back. I'm talking about the ones that are sitting on the sofa, doing nothing, going on with their day as if nothing is happening. In my opinion, I really don't think the US citizens that are actively fighting realize how many of their fellow citizens are so apathetic about everything that's going on. And that's where the problem is right now. If I sound a little bit fired up on this, it's because I am. I'm actually a little bit annoyed. Because I'm actually tired of getting these messages from people saying that, hey, we're fighting. Don't kick us when we're down. And that my channel is just full of hate. Well, here's what I have to say to that. We, the rest of the world, Canada, Europe, Australia, South America, Asia, everywhere else, and I'm probably the Penguins as well. We are watching our once close ally implode from within, and we are seeing a small resistance. But you are a population of over 340 million people. 77 million voted for the orange idiot, 75 million voted for Harris, and 90 million couldn't do anything. We are seeing things differently from the outside. For those of you who are in the United States, your news is different than ours. But we don't even need the news to know that many of your fellow citizens just don't care. It's unfortunate that some won't act until it actually affects them. But the United States needs more people like this.
And if you could just tell me again why you said that you came out tonight.
So, I've never protested before in my entire life, but sorry.
It's alright.
I watched 4th and 5th grade kids run away from our own government. I never want to see that again. And I'm not going to stand by and watch my neighbors run away scared. It's not Camden County, it's not New Jersey, and it's not the United States. I love the United States, I love New Jersey, and I love Camden County, I love Lindenwold too. But that's not what, we are. It's not who we are. And I decided I was going to come out here and stand with you guys and be part of this, because I never want to see a child ever run away from our own government ever again. Sorry about getting emotional.
That's okay.
This guy here gets my utmost respect because he said he's never protested before, but he couldn't take it anymore. And he decided he wanted to contribute. This is what needs to happen more in the United States. To rally up all of the citizens that are against this and actually make a difference. Because what I see right now, there are still way too many US citizens that are all about me, going on about their day, not giving a shit. And that's what we're seeing from the outside. So if you're a US citizen and you're angry at me for the type of content that I'm putting out, the anger shouldn't be at me. It should be at your fellow US citizens who are sitting on the sofa or going to a sports game and not giving a shit about what's going on. Get angry at them, not me. They are the ones that are apathetic about everything going on right now. And you need those people to make a change. You need them to be like this guy in the photo, going out to protest for the first time. Now to my US viewers who this was not directed at, I understand that you guys understand. And the fact that some of you are telling us don't come to our country, it's not safe, or telling us to continue the boycott, tells me that you understand. And I do value every single one of you. And I'm glad I have the opportunity to get to know some of you on Discord. But for those US citizens who continue to think that I'm just a hateful channel, maybe it's best for you guys to unsubscribe, because I'm not going to be gaslit into thinking that we're the problem. Alright, that's all I got for today. I'm sorry for the vent, but I had to get this out. But let me know your thoughts below. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international perspective, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button below, so that way you're informed of my future videos. Thanks everyone, I'll see you in the next one.